Hello. So you guys, I am learning something new about my overall health and it's really blowing my mind. So I felt the need to share this with you right now. So real talk for today, I am learning that old traumas can cause constant distress in our bodies without us even realizing it. I've always believed that mental stress can manifest itself into physical illness, but honestly, I was actually just thinking like headaches, migraine, which I've had, fatigue here and there, and just like minor aches and pains. For the first time ever right now, I'm actually going through some severe pain, excruciating pain, where I didn't even think that stress could even be a factor. I didn't even consider it. I mean, the idea of old traumas getting stuck in our body and for it to cause physical illness or constant pain is such a big concept to process. And so I'm trying to wrap my hand around it. I've had a myriad of traumas when I was a child. I thought I've dealt with it because I have been going through therapy for more than half of my life, not realizing that now I'm learning that talk therapy is a wonderful type of treatment. I didn't realize that there are certain types of treatment for trauma that is also beneficial on top of the talk therapy, which I never did have. It's amazing because healing really is a process. It's a long process, and it seems like there are layers and layers and layers of things to digest, so to speak. And so we have to really take the time and allow ourselves to just go through that process. Now, I may be late in the game on this, but I figured some of you might be too, but some of you may be like, oh, we've already known that. So if you do, I would welcome this conversation, and please let me know if you have any resources, because I'm literally just in the beginning of learning and studying this. So I want to talk about this with you, and please consider this as my public service announcement. To give you context on what's been going on, first, this is really important to me because I have been on this healing journey for such a long time, where I have been practicing different modalities that would help me physically and mentally. My husband and I follow the 80% 20% rule, where we eat really healthy organic food 80% of the time, and 20% we indulge and we treat ourselves. I practice yoga, I practice meditation, I take supplements, I get regular massages, acupuncture, chiropractic. So it can be very frustrating when I know that I'm doing all the right things. I'm doing everything that I can possibly can. I've invested in myself all these years, yet I don't feel like I'm as healthy as I could be. So I feel like this is the missing piece. This is that trauma, which I thought I've dealt with, not realizing that it was never properly treated, if you will. About maybe early January, 3 weeks ago, I started having so much tightness and pain in my forearms and my legs, so much so that it would wake me up in the middle of the night. Now, I'm not the type of person to take painkillers unless I'm really, really desperate. So I scheduled an appointment with my chiropractor. So he helped me out, he adjusted me, he tried to loosen up all my muscles, and he did say that everything was just so tight in my body. Long story short, he basically said that he thinks that it's stress. And of course, at that time, I didn't think like, okay, I don't think I'm that stressed to go through such pain. But when I did get home, I did get some relief, but I still felt different in my body. And so I started really looking into what he said about stress. And then there's this book, which actually I started reading a year ago, which was recommended by my old naturopathic doctor. It's called The Body Keeps the Score: Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. Now, I started reading this a year ago, but I only got to like maybe the first chapter or two, because for me at that time, it was a little bit hard to process, and I think it wasn't the right time. So this is how I understand it. Again, I am learning this, so please forgive me if I'm sort of like butchering this whole theory. But from my understanding, it's when you have these old traumas, right? You have all these memories, and when a memory pops up, your brain signals to your body that, okay, there's a red alert, there's a red flag, and it signals all the nerve, and that's when your body responds on a fight or flight or freeze mode, which I'm learning for the first time. I know the fight or flight, but I didn't know about the freeze. So anyway, so once your body is signaled, then you're just in constant tension and stress. Not realizing this, because these are all happening subconsciously. Naturally, this is how our brain works and how our body responds. Can you imagine having a childhood trauma and then these memories keep popping up in our heads, and they're just signaling our body that we're in constant distress? That's a lot to handle. Your body can really overwhelm. Hence, the illness, the aches, the migraine, the headaches, the nausea, the fatigue, and so on. Again, I don't know much about this yet, and I'm only 1/3 of the book. So far, I am mind blown. So for me, this is a priority right now. It's for me to really be able to thrive and feel joy without pain and without, wondering what's wrong with me. Why am I always feeling sick? So my intention for this real talk is really just to start a conversation about traumas and how they can impact our bodies. Now, I'd like to point out, and I'm going to read this from here, I'd like to point out that dictionary.com defines trauma as an experience that produces psychological injury or pain. And I read it can be as simple as, for example, there's this child in the playground and he falls and other kids laugh at him. That simple thing can actually cause a traumatic experience for that child. So I know it's not just me, that there's probably many of you, if not all of us, have gone through some kind of traumatic experience in one way or another. And if you're going through some struggles right now and you also have some physical illnesses that is somehow inexplainable, what if somehow it's related to your traumas? Also, given our situation with the global pandemic within the last year, this situation could have been really very traumatic for a lot of us, if not all of us. So I figured, if you're going through headaches right now and just a lot of all these sicknesses, it does make sense that the stress from this global traumatic experience that we're going through right now could just be the culprit. I know the word stress has been just overused, and we forget that stress can actually go deeper. I believe that awareness is key. The more we know, the more we're able to live a full life and actually take care of ourselves mentally and physically. If this resonated with you in any way, please comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Again, I am learning. I am only sharing this with you, whatever I'm learning. If you want to grab the book, read the book with me, please. It's fascinating. It really breaks down the science of it. So it's not just about woo-woo stuff. This is like, there's really science, and I love that it breaks it down from how our brain functions to like triggering the amygdala to the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. I've just read all that, so I don't know much about it yet, but I hope that this is somewhat eye-opening to you if you haven't really considered the possibility of, all traumas affecting our lives right now. Okay, I forgot to tell you that I'm actually starting EMDR treatment for the first time ever next week. EMDR means eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. It's considered a psychotherapy treatment designed to alleviate this distress associated with traumatic memories, according to EMDR.com. I'm also going to link that below so you can look into it yourself. I can't wait to go through about it more. I can't wait to learn more about it. I know I've said a lot, so here are the key takeaways, and I hope they help you. I'll give you an update as we go along because I really want to share this with you. I mean, it took me this long to figure this out and connect the dots. I'm hoping it wouldn't take you this long, and I'm hoping that it will help you in any way if you're going through some issues right now, either mentally or physically. So let's have the conversation, and I hope you find this information very useful. Comment below, let me know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And as always, sending you my love and gratitude. And please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new videos coming out. And then I think you have to click on that bell.